All right, so let's talk about Dragon's Dogma 2. And is it good? Is it bad? How is it? So, my background with Dragon's Dogma, let's talk about that first. I played a little bit of Dragon's Dogma 1. I did not play it when it first released or anything like that. I played it a couple months ago for the first time. I was on sale on Steam, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. The new one's coming out. Let me see what this whole Dragon's Dogma thing is all about. Played it for about like 5 hours or so. Wasn't totally vibing with it, but, you know, I still wanted to try Dragon's Dogma 2 because I figured that would be, you know, a more enhanced experience with better graphics and all that. So, still pretty new to the whole Dragon's Dogma thing before I'd even played the game. I knew there was all this hype around it, you know, people saying it's a Game of the Year contender and all that, so of course I bought into the hype. I'm like, all right, it's going to be a sweet game. So my expectations were that it's going to be a really good game. You know, I'd seen footage, everything looked pretty cool, the way you battle monsters and all the spells and everything, you know, that you saw in the trailer looked really awesome to me. So obviously, I have been playing the game. Mainly playing it off stream, just playing it on my own time, more casual. Decided it was a better game for me. I felt like if I was streaming it or recording, I would have felt like I had to rush through things. So just playing it casually has been really fun. Especially with this game, you got to go to the inn a lot and change weapons, change equipment. All that can take time. That's kind of, you know, if you're watching that, it can be kind of boring, I'd say. So I just wanted to play this one on my own. I do have one kind of goofy video. I'll leave it in the description if you want to see me do kind of a skit about Dragon's Dogma. Me pretending to be my own pawns. You can check it out. I'll leave a link down there. But anyway, getting into the game, the basics of the game, the pawns, the vocations, the RPG elements, all pretty unique, I would say. The whole pawn thing, it's basically you have friends playing with you the whole time. They're AI friends, obviously, but you know, kind of cool aspect to that game with the pawns. The different vocations I think is really cool. I mainly played the game as a fighter. I was really vibing with the fighter. I switched vocations a few times. I tried thief, I tried sorcerer, I tried mage, I tried, and you can see here I'm the mystic spear hand. I'm just starting out as the mystic spear hand. Cool that you can just switch on the fly. You don't need to go through like a respec process or anything. So I like that aspect of the game. The combat itself, that took a little time to get used to, especially with no lock-on. You know, I'm used to playing action RPGs, Souls and Souls-like games specifically, where you have a lock-on, you know, the camera's always facing the enemy. It's easy to see where the enemy is and attack it, and the camera kind of follows you. This doesn't have that, so that took some getting used to. I don't know, 5 hours into it, no problem after that, you get used to it. And you know, it kind of became satisfying after a little while, especially fighting the big monsters. In those first big monster attacks, I think I fought a Cyclops first. It's like, oh man, here we go, we got a big one, and it's an epic battle. You got to work with your pawns and you climb up on the thing and use all your special attacks, obviously avoiding the big hits, the stomps, and things like that. Pretty cool. The big enemies, yeah, you know, pretty much an event. Anytime you see a boss, it became an event. There was one time where I think I was doing a quest. I was taking an ox cart from, I don't know, I had to accompany an ox cart from, I think the main capital to Melv or something like that. And the ox cart stopped. I think it was, what was it? It was either a Cyclops or an ogre or something. Battle broke out. Had to fight that. Then all of a sudden a griffin flies down, and we're fighting an ogre and a griffin at the same time. I think the ox cart blew up. The griffin landed on it and destroyed it. But just epic battles. I think that's one of the highlights of this game, are those epic battles. Really cool. Exploration. I would say exploration is where the game truly shines. I think this is what the game is all about. They want you to explore. They want you to just walk all over the place, see what you can see. Like right here, you can see I'm finding a chest, and you get rewarded pretty well, I would say. I don't know how many times I just randomly got a fairy stone from a chest, things like that. Good equipment. So exploration, I'd say, is the heart and soul of this game. They want you to explore. And because of that, this whole fast travel thing, they make fast travel not as available because they want you to explore. And I understand that, and I get that. But I will say, after a while, walking around everywhere, especially backtracking, can get old. You know, they do give you fairy stones and port crystals throughout the game to make fast travel easy, but you can run out of those. So, you know, if you use them up, you're back walking everywhere. I wish there was something where after, I don't know, mid-game or something like that, you could fast travel a little more, except like whenever you wanted, because especially with some of the quests, they make you go here, they make you go there. Backtracking just gets old. So just a little bit better fast travel. You know, I'm in the let's have some fast travel camp. Beginning of the game makes sense, you know, explore around, all that, but after a while, just give us fast travel. The storage system I thought was kind of annoying, to be honest. You get heavy really quickly, and then you got to go to an inn to deposit all your stuff. You can give it off to your pawns, but, you know, what one of your non-main pawns dies? Do you lose that equipment? I don't even know. I never tested that, but, you know, I never wanted to give any of those other pawns too much stuff in case they did die. And I'd give stuff to my main pawn, but they'd get heavy too, and I don't know. Storage, I feel like could have been done a little bit better. Maybe at a campfire or somewhere else you can deal with your storage. That would have been nice. I'd say the most annoying part of the game was the stamina. I ran out of stamina so easily. You can run for about 5 seconds and then you're out of breath and you gotta walk, and then you gotta run 5 seconds and then blah blah blah. The thief makes it a little better because you can use the, you know, the skip, the fast dash button, and you can kind of go faster. But overall, stamina really annoying. I think there's a mod you can get to give you unlimited stamina outside of combat, which honestly the base game should just have that. And yeah, just after a while, things kind of got redundant. I remember, like, I don't know, 40 hours into the game, I was like, all right, it's the same thing over and over. I'm walking around, I'm fighting the same mobs, the same enemies. Lack of enemies, variety, I guess, is another downfall. I think a lot of people have talked about that. Gets a little bit old. And otherwise, it's really fun. I think the combat still is pretty fun. You can see I'm fighting a Cyclops here. Fun to climb on them and do that whole thing. But after a while, it does get a little bit redundant. So, unexpectedly, I beat the game. I fought the final dragon. I didn't realize that was going to be the final boss. And I guess I got the good ending, where, you know, I become the Arisen and everyone's happy and all that. I did not get the true ending, which I can still go back and do, because there was a ghost in the final area where the credits roll. And if you talk to him twice, it sends you back to the final dragon fight, which I did. I talked to him twice, so I actually went back, which, you know, now I'm just kind of traveling around the world again before I want to go for the true ending. But yeah, I beat the game, technically, even though there's still so much more to do. The side quests, I did a good amount of side quests. I thought the side quests were also a little bit annoying, kind of buggy, a lot of them. Either there were like NPCs you had to accompany and they wouldn't always follow you, or sometimes they wouldn't show up where they were supposed to show up. So most of those became a drag, especially without the fast travel. If you had to go somewhere and someone wasn't there and you walked the whole way, it's just like, oh man, come on. The whole Sphinx thing, I got through the first Sphinx phase. I did most of I got only one riddle wrong. I found the Sphinx in the second location, but for whatever reason I triggered the fight with the Sphinx in the second location, and the Sphinx flew away after that, and I couldn't do any more of the riddles, which was really weird. I thought you weren't supposed to fight the Sphinx till after the riddles, so I don't know why the fight triggered immediately for me. I don't know. So anyway, I think this game is really good. I think it lives up to the hype. Those few things that I mentioned earlier, the fast travel, the stamina, enemy variety, I think if those all, and the storage system, I think if those all made their way into the game, this would be easily, so far for me, probably game of the year. I think there's a lot of other good games coming out this year, so it's going to have to contend with those. Really awesome game, though. I love exploration. That's again, that's what the heart and soul of this game is. So if you're into that, obviously play this game. I didn't talk about the performance issues or anything like that, because I think those are mostly going to be a non-factor as they start, you know, implementing more patches and things like that, which they've already done. You know, again, I'm using a mod to enable DLSS 3, which gets me frame generation, which the performance really isn't that bad. That hasn't been a problem for me. So yeah, overall, I give this game an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's amazing. A few things that could be buttoned up, but honestly, a lot of fun. Highly recommend. If you haven't played it and you're looking to play it, give it a shot. Anyway, that's my spiel on Dragon's Dogma 2. Thank you for listening, and catch y'all in the next one. See ya.